Everyone, my name is Dr. Cheryl Lentz, and I am known as the academic entrepreneur. I'm both college professor, keynote speaker, as well as business owner. I have a very interesting concept for us to talk about today. I have looked at a variety of ways of teaching people and how they respond to be able to look at the idea of success. And I have a concept published in the Refractive Thinker years ago. It was one of my very first books that were out, called Fail Faster, Succeed Sooner. Now, I know the idea of failure is a really difficult thing for many people. I know early in my career, my mantra was the same as Apollo 13. Failure is not an option. Unfortunately, I didn't quite understand the idea of failure. And so the idea came up with fail faster, succeed sooner. The goal is to be able to get all of the failure out of your system in the first, say, month or two that you're on the job, so you never have to worry about making those same mistakes again. But mistakes are how we learn. And in order to be successful, you have to make friends with failure. I happen to be a recovering perfectionist, valedictorian, salutatorian, and all the honor rolls and all the awards that you can imagine. But the idea was it was an achievement option where anything less than 100% was just not acceptable. However, the challenge becomes we need to have more balance in our life. We need to be able to understand what the idea of failure is teaching us. Failure essentially is getting up one more time than we got knocked down. And the idea is this one little word, 3 words, called yet. The idea of failure is the fact that we haven't succeeded just yet. I'll give you an example. If we look at the idea of Peter the plumber, right? Do we believe that we pay Peter the plumber in our home for the time he spends in our home fixing our plumbing problem? Or what I suggest is the fact is we are paying Peter for all the times before he even got to our home and all the failure he has. Why? So that when he comes to our home to fix our leak in our sink, he fixes it the first time the right way. Why? Because he's learned how all of the other ways how not to build a light bulb, how not to fix the sink. And we want to be able to look at the idea that when he's maybe only in our home 15 minutes, that he fixes it the right way the first time, even though it might cost us $150. And maybe people get really annoyed that we think we're paying for that time that he spends in our home. And we aren't. We're paying for his time to learn. We're paying for all of the ideas that he failed before he ever got to our home, so that he knows when he's in our home to do things the right way the first time. Again, fail faster, succeed sooner. If you know all the ways how not to build a light bulb, all you need is that one time in order to make sure that it's true. So if we go back to our example of Peter the plumber, don't get so excited and nervous and worried about the fact that you're paying for Peter's time in your home and it might be $150 for only 10 minutes. But the fact is you're not willing to learn how to be a plumber, right? I pay my accountant because I don't want to be an accountant. She knows all of the current laws, all of the ways to keep me out of jail, all of the right ways to do things. And I pay her for her time and her expertise because she knows what works and she knows what doesn't. She has failed before. In order to succeed now, she has had that historical aspect. The same thing with the doctor. You're paying a doctor for all the time he spent in med school learning how to solve your problem in the 10 or 15 minutes you might be in their office. And so the idea is, how do we embrace failure? How do we look at ourselves as the ability as failure isn't a bad thing? It's a way for us to be able to learn how to embrace failure, how to be able to motivate change, how to be able to learn from our mistakes, and how to become that success and to do it faster. I know I used to scare my bosses quite a bit. It's like, what do you mean you're going to be telling your folks on how to fail? That's not what we want. We don't want people to fail. We want them to succeed. I'm going, that is true. But anybody who's going to come into their world and start a new job is going to make some mistakes, essentially. Look at Jack Welch. If you've ever read his book, Winning, Chapter 9 is a fabulous example of the $1 million mistake. The idea is you could perhaps fire somebody for the mistake they've had, or what Jack Welch did was the idea of look at the learning that mistake has been and to be able to embrace that failure, create a culture that supports failure and supports the ability so we can get through all that messy stuff, all the ways how not to do things, all the things that didn't work in order to quickly, effectively, and efficiently get to the things that do work. And that's my program for you, is to learn how to fail faster to succeed sooner. by working with me over the course of, some folks like to do 12 weeks, some 16. I even have a year-long program. It's the ability for what do you do when you fail? How do you embrace failure? How do you be able to look at the critical thinking, the refractive thinking, the areas around failure so that you can fail faster to succeed sooner. I'll be handing out something here in the audience for you very shortly to be able to outline the program so that you have the opportunity to look at someone who's done this a time or two. You'll see my credentials. I'm an 18-year college professor. I have 17 writing awards to my credit. I have 3 faculty of the year, 3 faculty awards, one of them including faculty of the year. And so I want to get you the ideas. I have been where you are. I know how frustrating failure can be. I want to teach you some techniques to be able to fail faster and succeed sooner. So I appreciate your time today. My name again is Dr. Cheryl Lentz. I'm known as the academic entrepreneur. We want to learn these strategies and the theories behind them so that you can take these lessons, these strategies, to learn how to live effectively, efficiently, and more effortlessly as you learn to be able to move yourself through failure, through success. Again, thank you so very much for your time. I look forward to working with you. You'll see the information that's on your screens right now and the ability to have my email address, drcherylentz.com. My phone number is listed there for you as well. And you'll be able to see some of the success stories that we have had to be able to help you live the successful life you always dream of. Thanks so very much. I look forward to seeing you. Bye now.